Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Xbox One emulation, or Xbox One translation with X11. And X11 now has Forza Horizon 2 reaching the title screen. This is a pretty big improvement for an emulator that hasn't even released yet. Next up here, if you're a fan of Super Smash Bros. And modding, you may be a fan of this brand new project. It's called Project U, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Project Ultibyte, depending on how you want to interpret that. As you can see here, this is kind of like Super Smash Bros. With a whole bunch of different characters, some from Nintendo, some from Sega, and some from other franchises. It's kind of like Musion, but Super Smash Bros. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I'll leave a link to the trailer as well in the description below. There is no release date for this one yet. I'm assuming it's going to be free and open source, but we'll have to wait and see. And judging by the character select screen, it seems as of right now there's 35 selectable characters, and it can go up to 6 characters in a match. And on top of that, in the description of their video, they've also got a link to their Discord. This is a very cool and very interesting project. And speaking about Nintendo and open source and Discord, next up we're talking about Ulaunch. Ulaunch is a free and open source customizable and homebrew oriented replacement for the Nintendo Switch home menu. It is up on GitHub. It's 100% free. It's obviously open source, and they also have a Discord server. Now, version 1.0 of Ulaunch was released in July. However, they've just released an article documenting their entire development process. If you like detailed technical reads, this may be something for you. On top of that, they talk about the future of Ulaunch here, where there's still a ways to go. And speaking about documentation, next up we're talking about Proton Experimental. If you've got a Steam Deck or a Linux machine, you may want to check out the latest changelog here for Proton Experimental. At the time of filming, they have listed APB Reloaded as playable. On top of that here, they fixed a whole bunch of bugs for a whole bunch of different games. For example, Showdown 1986 or 1896 was failing to start after a recent game update, and that now has been fixed. And they've also fixed Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 4 not being playable on some setups. Next up, we're talking about the Sega Dreamcast, and a lot of people are going to be excited about this one, and a lot of people are going to have some high expectations, including myself. Retro Fighters is making a brand new controller here. If you take a look at it, it's very iconic. And they're calling it the Dreamcast D6 wireless controller. It's going to feature 2.4G connection, and it'll also be compatible with VMUs. And it's going to cost about $50. The D6 Dreamcast will not just work on the Dreamcast, it'll also work on the Switch and PC. And there's 2 different colors here, the standard color and also the black variant. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and let me know if you're excited about it. Moving on, and if you're a fan of Broken Sword for the Game Boy Advance, you're probably going to be a big fan of this news here. There are pictures that have surfaced of the mythical Broken Sword 2 for the Game Boy Advance, and this one is close to complete. Apparently it was shelved just a few weeks before release because the publisher went under. I mean, they say here there's a chance that the project will come back to life as it was more or less finished, so we'll have to wait and see on this one, but I'm hoping for the best here. Next up, we're talking about the PS5 Pro. Now, we've been talking about the PS5 Pro quite a bit lately, and it appears that Sony, of all people, accidentally leaked the announcement for the PS5 Pro. On their YouTube channel, they had a video titled PS5 Pro, and that video was tied to an announcement here on September 10th, so probably by the time you've watched this video. Now, Sony has since changed the title of the video to just say PS5. They removed Pro off of it. And I'm wondering if this is expert level trolling or probably just a mess up. I'm leaning towards mess up, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we're talking about Destiny 2. Now, Destiny is celebrating its 10th anniversary. It was released back in 2014. And moving forward, Destiny 2 is going to have a brand new release cycle. Instead of a yearly update, it's going to have 2 medium-sized updates. So it seems like the release cycle on this will be 1 medium-sized expansion in the summer and 1 medium-sized expansion in the winter, along with 4 free major content updates throughout the year. Let me know your thoughts about this new release cycle in the comments below. And speaking about development updates, next up we're talking about Minecraft, and Minecraft also shared a brand new development update plan. As Minecraft is celebrating its 15th anniversary, they say here instead of providing 1 free update during the summer as we've done in the past, we'll now be releasing a number of free game drops throughout the year. So this is also a change just like Destiny. Next up, if you're a fan of Luigi and Waluigi and you're a fan of Super Mario World, you're probably going to like this brand new ROM hack. It was just released, it's called Simpatico. They say here that this is a fun, light-hearted adventure between two estranged pals. Can they overcome their differences and rekindle their friendship? Only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Now, from my understanding, this game is not necessarily for the faint of heart. It's supposed to be challenging. There are a number of different puzzles. It took a while to develop, and there are some very interesting cameos. Next up, we're talking about Apple and their Apple event that was held on September 9th. There's a video on YouTube that's over an hour and a half in length here, and there's some very interesting specs on the new iPhone, specifically on the side. It's getting a camera slider and button. It's supposed to be flush with this side here. It is touch sensitive and it is a physical button, and it'll help with camera controls. The iPhone 16 is going to be starting at $799, the iPhone 16 Plus at $899, and the iPhone 16 Pro will be able to support 4K 120 FPS video. They talked a little bit about Apple AI, which is going to go head-to-head against Google Gemini, and that'll be a very interesting battle. On top of that, they're going to be trying to make the Apple AirPods Pro a feasible over-the-counter hearing aid, which would help out a whole lot of people and make things more accessible. I mean, you can hear music and also hear people talk. Moving on, and we're talking about Zoom platform, not to be confused with the Zoom conferencing application. And I mean, if you type in Zoom platform into Google, you get Zoom, not Zoom platform. Anyways, here Zoom platform is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And in doing so, they're having a big DRM free sale. Taking a look at the games on sale, and there's a whole bunch of great deals here. I mean, Postal 3 is on for 25% off, A Vampire Story is on for 50% off, then also Flat Out 2 is on for 75% off. Next up, we're talking about where in the world is Mr. Sujano, or Carmen Sandiego, sorry about that. There's been a brand new game that's just been announced called Carmen Sandiego. This one is being released for mobile for both iPhone and Android, as well as on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and also Netflix. And this game here looks pretty interesting. I mean, there's not a whole lot of gameplay that's been shown. It's a lot of animations, but at the same time here, it looks like there are some very interesting elements to it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. I'll drop a link to the trailer in the description below and feel free to check it out. Unfortunately, I don't have a release date for you just yet, but it's said to come out sometime in Q1 2025. And last up, we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 3 for the PS1. There's a brand new demake of this game, a demo at least, that has just been released. This one looks pretty interesting. I haven't checked it out myself yet. But at the same time, I think Five Nights at Freddy's 3 on the PS1 would be a pretty big hit. Now, from my understanding, this will have a 2-player mode, have custom nights and Easter eggs and even more. And it will require a PS1 emulator like DuckStation in order to run. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. I'm feeling better today. I'm on the mend here, and maybe the cure is some more camping or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, we talked about a bunch. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.